Lloyd always think he was an insecure, ugly loser who was the weakest in his village. However, when he went to the kingdom to join the military academy, he turned out to be overpowered. And he started his own harem. In his village when he was younger, Lloyd was trying to catch a rabbit, but that rabbit knows how to move his feet, and bullied him. His brother, Shaw, caught the rabbit, and Lloyd immediately ran after him to hug him. As he got older, Lloyd moved to the house of a witch named Marie. She thought he was there to get his wish fulfilled, telling him his wish would only be fulfilled if he was ready to make a big sacrifice. He was there to stay with her for a while so he could become a soldier, and she screamed at him to find an inn because her house wasn't an orphanage. However, when he revealed that he was from the village of Conlin, whose chief was Allah, who summoned herself through a crystal ball, Marie agreed. Allah told her apprentice to take care of him, but she couldn't answer any questions that Marie had, as the image was just a recording. So Marie started to curse the lowly girl, but Allah had lied, and Marie's soul left her body when she heard that. When she was gone, Marie threw the crystal ball into the wardrobe and called Allah an ugly hack. Afterward, he pointed Lloyd to the room he would stay at, and Allah arrived yet again in her real body. She revealed that the crystal was a teleportation device. Since Lloyd was a soft, dumb kid, she wanted to make sure that Marie wouldn't try to use him as her personal pleasure machine. Allah used ancient rune magic to give Marie the curse of small repeated misfortunes for calling her an ugly hack. When she left, the curse kicked in, and she fell, saying that she shouldn't just use the magic from an ancient civilization just for the sake of making life annoying for her. The next day she woke up and saw Lloyd preparing breakfast for both of them. He apologized for using her kitchen. When they finished eating breakfast, she asked why he wanted to become a soldier. He told her that he was a weak, dumb noob in his village and wanted to transform into someone tough and cool. He was here to take the entrance exam at the Academy of the Kingdom of Isami. Since it included a combat test, he revealed that stamina was his weakness. It took him 6 days to get here because of it. Marie thought that getting here in 6 days by train was normal, but Lloyd revealed that he ran thousands of kilometers and killed a bunch of monsters, which he thought as bugs. In his eyes, he only considers demon lords as real monsters. She told him that he was pretty strong, and wondered how insecure a person could be. Accidentally, she spilled tea on her face, and Lloyd wiped it off with a cloth that had an ancient rune on it, making her skin softer than cotton. It was just a home remedy for him, but Marie knew that it was the Dispel rune, which she had been trying to learn for more than 6 years. He thought she was banging her head because of how weak he was and apologized for being a dumb noob. He then went around the city, and when a girl named Selin was about to get eaten by a huge bug, Lloyd jumped on its head and threw the insect into space. He helped her get up and cleaned her face, embarrassing her. He took his leave as he had other things to do. Experiencing love at first sight, she wondered if makeup would help her look good. However, she had a cursed belt on her face and was bullied her whole life because of it. The belt removed itself, and with tears raining down her face, she thought that Lloyd was the man of her destiny. The next morning arrived, and he gave Maria a gift for allowing him to become a freeloader. Outside the military academy, a noble named Alan and Selin got into an argument with each other. Riho, who was standing beside Lloyd, wondered if he was even human, as there was a tremendously powerful aura around him. When he moved his arm to complement her metal arm, she took a battle stance out of fear. He apologized for scaring her with his ugly voice out of nowhere. Selin arrived and shoved Riho into the wall, stating that no other girl was allowed to get close to her precious Lloyd. Her temper flared, and she asserted that only she was allowed to be with that dumb noob enjoyer. During the test day, the instructor Muffin and Riho were losing their minds over how strong Lloyd was. However, when the test results were revealed, his name was nowhere to be seen on the board at the academy. Colin finished introducing all the new students, and those who knew Lloyd get worried as he was nowhere to be seen. Murph often thought that without Lloyd, the military force would be too weak for the eventual war with the Gu Empire. Colin told everyone that there would be a reward for anyone who would find the missing princess. On his way home, Giant Bug attacked Lloyd, but he brushed it off and went to a restaurant for a job. The owner, Crumb, immediately jumped at him, startled by his overwhelming power, and wondered why he was there. Lloyd expressed his interest in a part-time job, confidently stating that he could handle everything. Chrome, who intrigued, instructed him to demonstrate his skills, and he began making a dish. Lloyd admitted that he had just failed the entrance exam, but Chrome couldn't believe it. The answers he had written on the written exams were dismissed as mere doodles, but Colin informed everyone that those were ancient runes. In disbelief, she threw Melfan into a chandelier for his ignorance. After Lloyd finished preparing the dish, Chrome anticipated an attack as he tasted it. To his surprise, nothing of the sort happened, and he loved the dish. Colin expressed the need to find Lloyd, prompting Riho and Selen to volunteer for the task, aiming to locate both Lloyd and the missing princess. Upon informing Alla and Marie about his test failure, they couldn't believe it. Alla, on the verge of destroying the entire kingdom, was dissuaded by Lloyd. He reassured them that he would retake the exam next year and expressed his desire to stay, having found a part-time job. When Alla allowed it, Lloyd went to make dinner. Marie then confided in Alla, revealing that the kingdom needed protection. King Ami had turned into an advocate of war in the last 5 years, and secretly controlled by someone. Alla told her that the people of her village only intervened when the threat was beyond human comprehension, like a demon lord or a major disaster 4 years ago. Marie sought Alla's help to learn the discard rune and use it on the king to free him from the person who was controlling him. Alla understood her intentions but warned her not to involve Lloyd in this. Otherwise, she would immediately take him back to their village. At the restaurant where Lloyd worked, Riho and Melfan discussed their plan to find both the princess and Lloyd. The place was unusually popular, known for its bad food and dirty floors. But this time, everything had changed. Riho wondered about Chrome, so Melfan informed her that he used to be the personal escort to the princess, but resigned after she went missing. When their food arrived, they were pleasantly surprised to find it extremely good. But they couldn't help but spill out their amazement when they saw Lloyd working there. As he went out to put up the trash, he casually tossed a monster bug into the air like it was a ball, and noticed Marie and some students heading into an alleyway. There was a talk about a monster lurked there. Meanwhile, Selen and Alan got into a fight again. She pulled out all the chest hair of a man hitting on another, and Alan scolded her for behaving inappropriately as a noble. Charging at her with his axe, Selen's belt tossed the weapon away, and she attributed it to the blessing of Lloyd. Lloyd arrived, and Selen immediately went to meet the man she believed held the meat of her destiny. The situation escalated, and as everyone gathered, they decided that Lloyd and Alan should battle it out. Alan, proud of his toughness, lowered his face for Lloyd to hit him with all his might. Everyone thought he was dead for real, and just as Lloyd was about to separate his head from his body, Marie arrived and whisked him away under the cover of a tornado. Being the dumb person he was, Lloyd thanked Marie for saving him and offered to do anything for her. She told him not to make such offers, as it tempted her to make him go through countless rounds on her whole day. When Chrome arrived, he instructed Lloyd to return to the restaurant, and it is revealed that Marie was the missing princess of the kingdom. She informed him that the culprit would soon manipulate the king, declaring war on the Gu Empire on the 3rd day of an upcoming festival, and asked for his help. At the academy, Melfan was working overtime, and Colin asked why he worked tirelessly every day. He explained that there was a famine in his village, and the army took advantage of it to attack them, seizing whatever little supplies they had. He worked hard to ensure that such a tragedy would never happen again. After searching for a long time, Selen and Riho still had no clue where Lloyd was. They decided to visit Marie for information and were shocked when Lloyd opened the door. As Selen expressed her frustration, Riho wondered how strong Lloyd must be to unlock the belt on her head, making her believe that she was bound to him by fate. Marie arrived home, and a malicious aura appeared around Selen, who became jealous upon realizing that Lloyd lived with a woman. Later, Riho showed Marie a picture of the princess and asked if she knew anything about her. Although Marie initially refused, Riho sensed that she was hiding something, as she resembled the princess. Selen explained the deal. If they found the princess, higher officials could get Lloyd into the academy as a reward. Marie offered to trade information and requested them to spare any secret details about the kingdom, emphasizing its grave danger since they had probably already guessed. Marie then decided to reveal that she was the princess. Lloyd arrived with tea for everyone, and he praised Marie as the savior of the kingdom for her secret acts of protection. He offered to help her save the kingdom, but as Allah had warned her not to involve him, she claimed he wasn't strong enough, dismissing his words as hollow and incapable of achieving anything. Hearing this, Lloyd felt sad and left the room. Marie took this opportunity to reveal to the girls that she was the princess. Observing how she treated Lloyd, the girls questioned her motivations and asked if she knew how strong he was. Marie explained the village of Conlin's prohibition on its villagers getting involved in human conflicts and sought their help to save the kingdom. Later, while sitting on the roof, Allah arrived and complimented Marie for keeping Lloyd out of it. However, she cursed her for putting the crystal in a well, predicting that she would fall from the roof. During the annual festival, Allah noticed a gloomy Lloyd, still reeling from not getting admitted to the academy, and on top of that, Marie acted harshly toward him. Wanting to lift his spirits, Allah attempted to shove a banana in his mouth just as locust monsters attacked the public. Meanwhile, Krum met the king to request re-entry into the military after an investigation by Selin and Riho. Krum revealed to the king that Melfan was the one controlling him, and he admitted that a foolish king like him deserved to be a puppet. Marie arrived there as well, and the king, controlled by the demon lord Abaddon, threw Melfan into a wall. The king revealed that he had manipulated Melfan using his powers, and he turned him into his minion. Krum instructed Marie to go after the king while they held Melfan off. Following the king to the throne room, Marie attacked him with a barrage of magic of different elements, utilizing the cover of fog to get close and using the discard rune. However, the king threw her away and broke her arm. She couldn't die just yet, as she hadn't apologized to Lloyd for treating him poorly. When it was revealed that the demon lord Abaddon was controlling the king, she screamed at him, regretting not seeking Allah's help instead of getting into a fight with Lloyd. As Lloyd moved towards the castle, he killed a locust and encountered Alan, who was hiding out of fear of monsters. Encouraged by Lloyd, Alan gained the strength to get back on his feet and kill the monster. As Lloyd went away, Alan observed a huge magic circle in the sky created by Ayla. Since the enemy was a demon lord, she rained meteors from the sky to obliterate every monster in an instant. In the castle, Melfan proved challenging for them to handle. Riho told Selin to find a way to bring Lloyd to them. She insisted Melfan attack her, suggesting that a little nudity might be appreciated, as the hero always arrived to save the heroine in trouble. However, her belt automatically deflected all attacks, leaving her wondering how to get into the being held by a boy while in the nude status if that continued. Riho, realizing it was going nowhere, instructed Selin to keep Melfan occupied and went out to look for Lloyd. By the time she returned, Lloyd had already arrived, and Selin, excited, jumped at him. Ignoring her advances, he asked Krum if he was okay. Lloyd started to talk no jutsu Melfan, and as he was about to return back to his true self, the dumb Lloyd told him to stop cosplaying and not get drunk so much. Melfan, after hearing his dumb whining, he returned back to being a demon and attacked him, but he just bounced around the room. When Lloyd attacked him, he got unconscious because of his attack. Marie arrived at their location and immediately hugged Lloyd. The king followed her, and the less dumb Lloyd thought he was doing some sort of cosplay as well. Marie tricked Lloyd into believing that his face was dirty and made him wipe it down with the discard rune. The king attempted to stop him, but Lloyd casually deflected his attack as if it were nothing, making the demon lord go away. Marie hugged him once again for saving her, and Selin instantly told her to step away from him. The next day, repair work around the kingdom was going on smoothly, and Lloyd ran into his brother Shah, who had come to deliver some goods. However, when Allah arrived with a chocolate banana, Shah vanished instantly. Krum had returned to being a member of the military and asked Colin if Melfan was her love interest. Hearing this, she destroyed his baby-making machine and inquired about Melfan's whereabouts. He informed her that the Royal Academy had sent him to the village of Conan to do hard labor, battling monsters. After finishing, Allah took him to the wheat fields that grew all year, realizing that she was the person who had provided his village with free wheat during the war. Later, at Marie's house, Allah saw Lloyd naked and turned on her recording mode. However, Marie threw her to the ground and told her to keep her desires in check as they were having a conversation. Lloyd arrived wearing the Academy's uniform, and their emotions couldn't be contained. Riho and Selen arrived soon after, and Lloyd introduced Ala to them. She revealed that her belt was the skin of a divine beast, a legendary artifact from the Kanin village that protected its user from all malice. When Alan arrived, Lloyd disclosed that he was able to enter the academy because of him. One night, Marie and Chrome took Lloyd to a village where there was a holy sword that couldn't be removed. It was rumored that its owner could rule over the world, but Lloyd casually pulled it out, and with that done, the three went back to the kingdom. In the military academy, Lloyd was ahead in a race while everyone else struggled to keep themselves in one piece. When they returned to class, all the students couldn't even sit properly, and Colin arrived to announce that she was going to pick students for the upcoming inter-school competition against the Ryu Sorcery Academy. During training, she explained that there were 3 types of magic and instructed the students to practice on a dummy. Riho and Selen impressed Colin with their magic power. However, when it was Lloyd's turn, he accidentally missed the dummy and destroyed everything in the way of his blasts. Despite the mishap, he continued to practice, and eventually, the dummy turned into ash. Colin then told Lloyd that he didn't have to practice anymore. While the students were resting, Selen asked Colin to teach her healing magic, expressing her desire to cross the boundaries with Lloyd and stay up the whole night. Riho cautioned her that healing magic was the hardest to understand and could go wrong if not done correctly. Despite its difficulty, Alan suggested that it should be the first magic they learn. To practice, they needed someone injured, so Selen kicked Alan down the stairs, and the other girls arrived to give him some attention and later practice healing magic on him. At Marie's home, 2 siblings from the Ryu Academy, Mina and Philo, visited her. They showed Marie a picture of Riho and asked if she knew anything about her. Just as Mina showed the pictures, they detected the presence of an extremely powerful being. When Lloyd opened the door, Philo immediately kicked him in the head and the ribs. However, it had no effect on him, and the less intelligent, one brain cell Philo thought she was trying to hit a fly and apologized for getting in her way. He saw Riho's pictures and informed Mina that she studied at his academy, but Philo lost interest. Instead, Philo offered Lloyd to be his personal stress relief machine if he would take her as his apprentice. Marie threw them out of her home and sprinkled horny disabling salt on them. When Lloyd went to cook dinner, Ala arrived and turned Marie into a butterfly for taking Lloyd to the Holy Sword Village and having fun without her. At night, Marie turned back into her real self, and Lloyd saw her plan, but he went away without saying anything, considering her ugly actions as a violation. The next day, the students were training, and Colin expressed her strong desire to win against the degenerate headmaster of the Ryu Academy. Suddenly, Raul arrived with Philo and Mina. Selen asked Colin who she was, and Colin explained that Raul was her manipulative classmate who had climbed her way to the top by bringing everyone else down. Raul threatened Riho to come back home if she didn't want to lose things dear to her, and awaited her answer. When Lloyd arrived, Philo told him that she awaited his answer as well, and Selen got angry seeing him with another woman. Lloyd noticed Riho feeling sad. Later he asked Marie that he wanted to cheer someone up and didn't know what to do. Marie, thinking that he was trying to ask her out, suggested he go on a date. Lloyd thanked her and told her that he was going to ask Riho out tomorrow. The next day in class, Selen gave Riho a secretly taken picture of Lloyd in hopes of making her happy, but Riho didn't care about the photo. Alan was about to make a dirty joke to make her laugh, so she kicked him as he was lying with his butt in the air. Lloyd asked Riho out on a date, and during the date he asked what had happened to her as she seemed pretty depressed. Riho grew up in an orphanage and met Raul there, who taught her magic. Due to her left hand, she couldn't do anything to support the orphanage. One day, Raul brought a mythical prosthetic arm for her, and she got happy thinking that she would finally be able to do some work. However, Raul gave her the arm to use the power of prosthetic arm to pull out the holy sword, but it would kill Riho, so she ran away. Unable to trust anyone properly after that, Lloyd held her hand and assured her that he would never betray her. However, Selen arrived out of nowhere and got angry at Riho for not telling her this. Earlier, during practice, a strong student named Mikona challenged Lloyd to a friendly duel, but Colin knew that Mikona would get killed, so she made her fight Philo instead. When the duel started, Mikona charged her magic to the maximum, and finally, when it was fully charged, she leaped at Philo. However, Philo beat her to the other end of the arena and ended the duel. Lloyd tried to help Mikona, but she thought he was looking down on her and pushed his hand away. She then visited Marie to get herself healed and struggled to keep her feelings from Marie inside her. When Lloyd arrived, Mikona got jealous, thinking that the love of her life lived with Lloyd, and ran away. The next morning was the day of the inter-school competition, and Chrome revealed that the winner would get the Holy Sword as the prize. Riho got angry at Chrome and demanded an explanation of how the sword that ruined her life got there. Since the winner would get the sword, Roll decided to turn herself into a student to win the competition. Colin decided to put Lloyd into the competition as well. Meanwhile, Marie was about to go watch Lloyd in the competition, but Allah stopped her. Allah cursed her with a stomachache every 10 minutes so she couldn't go, instructing her to send non-stop apologies through the crystal if she wanted the curse undone. Selin and Philo went on the stage for the first battle of the competition. Selin was sure that her belt would protect her from any attack, but the belt didn't react, and she got hit by lightning. Philo, having no malice in her heart, kept attacking Selin non-stop. When she released her ultimate attack, the belt finally started to attack back. After blocking her attacks, Selin held Philo with the belt and was about to throw her out of the stage, but she got disqualified as using the belt was against the rules, and Philo was declared the winner. For the next fight, Lloyd and Mina got on the stage. When the duel started, Mina covered Lloyd's face with water in hopes of suffocating him. However, Lloyd casually held his breath for 20 minutes like it was nothing. Mina surrounded him with a water tornado, but Lloyd shoved her into the wall with a strong gust of wind and was declared the winner. It was the last battle, and the archenemies rained fireballs at each other until Riho got hit by one. Since she was the one that put the arm on her, she knew how to take it out, and rendered Riho defenseless, but Riho punched her and exploded her arm to damage. However, she had put a healing magic stone in her arm, and was about to destroy her with her ultimate attack, but Roll passed out before she could do anything. At night, Roll's subordinate told her that the person responsible for pulling out the sword was a witch. She instructed Philo to go to Marie's house and get the thing she was overprotective of. When Philo reached Marie's house, she saw Marie begging to a crystal. While Marie was occupied in toilet, Philo went to the house and took the crystal ball. Later, when Lloyd arrived at Marie's house, he thought she had been kidnapped as Philo had left a letter telling him to bring the holy sword to them. Alan also arrived to get his little monster treated from Marie, and Lloyd informed him that Marie had been kidnapped. Together, they went to the location mentioned in the letter and encountered Philo. A duel to the death ensued between Lloyd and Philo. Lloyd kept blocking her attacks, and when he had enough, he proposed a deal. If he won the duel, Philo had to tell him Marie's location. They decided to settle the duel through arm wrestling, and their power was so high that Alan was blown away from the force. However, Roll's subordinate arrived and attacked Alan with fireballs. Mina, tired of being treated as a tool by Roll, suffocated subordinate by submerging his face in water. As they observed Lloyd and Philo battling in the sky, a window air spell thrown by Lloyd ended the duel, with Lloyd winning the arm wrestle. Philo, in her defeat, asked Lloyd to marry her, but Lloyd was focused on Marie's location. He felt foolish when he realized that Marie was still in her house. Upon witnessing the events, Roll became angry. Allah arrived through the crystal ball and exploded the room where Roll was. Roll got thrown into water, prompting Alan to rescue her. On the next day, Roll was admitted to the hospital and began reflecting on how badly she had used Riho for her own gain, despite Riho's care for her. Riho continued to show care by peeling apples for Roll, but refused to listen to what Roll wanted to say. As the summer break approached, Selin wanted to spend all her time with Lloyd, but was forced to return home. She considered exploding her own home as an option to get back to her meat provider. When Lloyd returned home, he found Marie and Allah fighting over him, both wanting to be with him. Lloyd informed them that he was going away to do a part-time job at a big hotel introduced to him by Chrome. At the hotel, the owner, Kobo, awaited the part-time worker and sensed a deadly presence approaching. However, he was surprised when it turned out to be Lloyd. Kobo showed Lloyd around the hotel and revealed that strange incidents were occurring, leaving people in a strange state. Lloyd offered to help in any way he could. Kobo introduced Lloyd to another worker, Kiko, who was known for slacking off when Kobo wasn't looking. Kiko instructed Lloyd to do all the work, but before she could finish her sentence, Lloyd had already completed all the cleaning tasks, even cleaning the entire ceiling in an instant. Kobo and Kiko were astonished by Lloyd's efficiency, leading Kiko to question if he was even human. When Lloyd wore his uniform, Kobo told him that a major client was coming tomorrow and he wanted his help with the reception, as the noble named Theo was difficult to deal with. He was Alan's father, and on the next day, he acted strict with everyone, but he got interested in Lloyd as they both loved forestry. Kiko visited Theo at night, and they both thought that Kobo was the one behind the coma victim. An annoying local lord wanted to arrange a marriage of his daughter with his son Alan, and that lord had been buying trains and made a fortune with them, so he wanted to use this marriage to get information about his business. Theo told Kiko that a demon train was stolen from a laboratory, and according to the scientists, it made animals and humans its host, strengthening their physical abilities, making Kiko think that it could be Lloyd. So on the next day, when Lloyd was cutting vegetables, Kiko gave him a special tea that would get rid of that demon train inside him. But before he could drink it, Koba arrived and drank the tea himself, instantly spilling it out as it tasted like poison. Kiko jumped from the window, making Koba think that maybe she and Theo were behind those attacks. Riho decided to use all her prize money from the competition to stay at the hotel and ordered a massage, but was surprised to see Lloyd working there. Lloyd readied the massage, but she couldn't expose her plot to a virgin like him and told him to get a woman for the massage. Selin also reached the hotel with her father later on, and she was supposed to be the one who would get married to Alan. She tried to escape from there and told her father that she was betrothed to a Reese lord already and couldn't accept a crazy man-child like Alan, but her father told her to shut up. They met with Theo later, and Selin was thinking about killing Alan the moment he entered the door, but she was surprised to see that it was Lloyd and immediately got on top of him. Her father thought that she inherited the desire for juicy meat from her mother, and when the two lovebirds went away, they decided to talk about business. Selin took Lloyd to an empty room and asked him to do things people do in these hotels, but Riho told her that it wasn't that type of hotel and asked if she didn't find it suspicious that Lloyd was Theo's son, but she just took it as a blessing from heaven and didn't care about it. Earlier in the day, Alan was found unconscious in a bath, so Theo decided to make Lloyd his son for the time being. Koba wondered why Theo used Lloyd as a stand-in for the arranged marriage and vowed to himself to get to the bottom of this. Outside the hotel, the girls and Lloyd were planning to investigate what was going on in the hotel, and when they saw Shaw coming towards them with an order of firebombs, they immediately went to him. But Shaw had a gloomy look on his face when he saw Selin hugging Lloyd. He started to tell Shaw about joining the military academy, and Shaw patted him in congratulations. He had to go to his next job, so he told them to take care of the delivery, and for the rest of the day, Selin tried her best to get close to Lloyd. While they were on a boat in the middle of a lake, she told him that it wasn't possible for her to go on a date because of this belt. The belt was a part of her father's antique collection, and after it bound itself to her, people started to look at her in disgust, and she trained alone her whole life to get rid of this belt. She told Lloyd how precious he was and how the others felt proud of him as well. But according to him, he couldn't have reached this point without the help from others. Kiko was observing the two horny individuals from a distance, and when Selin went away and left Lloyd alone, she thought that it was the perfect opportunity for her to sneak up on him. But Lloyd detected her, and she had to make up an excuse of giving him a massage. Since he wanted to learn the massage techniques, he agreed, and Kiko started oiling up his whole body, but she couldn't feel the demon train anywhere and thought that what she was looking for might be in his pants. As she shoved her hand down his pants, the crazy Selin appeared and stopped Kiko from taking his virginity. But Kiko grabbed her from behind and performed one of the WWE moves on her. However, the bell protected her, and as they were about to fight each other again, Lloyd diverted Selin's attention by saying that this was a rather violent massage, and Kiko used this opportunity to escape. Since there was oil all over his body, Selen suggested that they should take a bath together, but the poor girl couldn't get any time alone with him at all, as all of his harem girls arrived there one by one. They all talked about the illegal train cultivation happening there, and since it was the cause of people going into a coma, Alla thought that it needed to be taken care of soon, else this whole place would be full of threats. When Lloyd accidentally stood up, he gave the girls a sight of his holy sword. Philo threw Alla into the forest for taking a look at his important parts. Kiko observed everyone from the forest, but Theo's secretary arrived there, and he was revealed to be the host of the demon train. He started to suck Kaio's bodily fluids through his tentacles, but Lloyd arrived there looking for Alla, and his dumb mind thought that the secretary was wearing a cosplay. He spawned a bunch of trains, and the small-minded Lloyd thought that he was giving them a show. In the hotel, Theo, Koba, and Selen's father were having a meeting with each other, and Koba blamed this whole incident on Theo, as all this started after his first visit to the hotel. After Lloyd had defeated all the trains, he saw Mani, the secretary, going towards the hotel, and he interrupted their meeting to reveal himself as the person who was putting people in a coma. He attacked them, but the girls arrived to protect them, and used their magic on him. But it didn't have any effect, so Philo kicked him out of the hotel. It attacked everyone, and Selen was about to get crushed under rubble, but her father pushed her out of the way and got buried himself. Riho woke up the sleeping Alan and told him to throw the firebombs at the monster. They saved Mina and Philo before they got crushed and rained firebombs at him. While Mina held it in place using a water dragon, and Riho froze the water with ice magic, the monster wouldn't die unless they destroyed his core. Selen tried to remove the rubble from on top of her father, and told him that she was in love with someone as she was about to get crushed herself. Lloyd arrived there to throw the rubble into oblivion, and was surprised to learn that Minoi was actually a monster. He jumped at him, and with a single punch grabbed his core and crushed it, causing the monster to disappear. Sha was witnessing this fight from a distance and had buried Alla into the ground. Later, with a spell, Alla fixed the hotel through the whole night, and on the next day, Koba apologized to Theo for doping him, but he was at fault as well, and gave Kiko to him so he could finally put his dormant Excalibur to use.